You're listening to the RMTV Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RMTV Podcast. Jordy, how you going, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. It's round one's done. The long dragged out round one from Vegas to New Zealand and to finish off up at Suncorp. South's got a win up there.
Yeah. Three countries, 2 weekends, and round one is done.
It feels right though. It just feels right. Rugby league on.
At home.
Even if it's a poo slinger, like you had Cronulla Titans, and but it just felt right. The footy's back.
I'm still Devo. I thought the Titans were actually going to come out and put on a bit of an ambush, and then I looked at the halftime score and was like, well, that was shit.
Yes. Did you tip them?
I tipped the Titans.
Yeah.
I thought there was an ambush coming, but no.
I think I ran away with. I won the tipping comp for round one.
I think you did.
A mere 4 out of 8.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Some of those scores were not predicted.
Yeah,
But at least you didn't predict the field goal, though, did you?
For Para.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't get injured.
No, I didn't. Well, you know what? Let's just dive straight into it, eh?
Go.
So, Melbourne, they continue their round one winning streak, 52-4 over Parramatta, and I don't know what it is with me tipping Para. I thought, you know what, maybe Ross can get under Melbourne's skin, but Melbourne, they were just hungry, and that Farlago, the fullback.
Yeah, Sufalongo. Yeah, he was incredible.
He's electric, mate.
But you think about it, right? Like, Pappenhausen was probably one of the best fullbacks in the game. And then look what they've replaced him with, and you're like, shit.
Yeah,
this guy is good.
And look, so it started off with Parra got the first score on the board after, I think there was a sin bin.
Yeah, they look good for the first, 10 minutes.
Well, they had to play in mid. Jermaine Hopkins.
Yeah.
Which we can, let's go into it. He hit
Horse shit.
Yeah, a bit high. And then you go look back at the Vegas game where Stephen Crichton's hit. You think, it's just double standards, and the consistency isn't consistent.
I don't know the NRL go, well, Seto 2 was almost on his back, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Hopgood had eyes for McDonald the entire time. In that split second, and I said this to you as well, when we were in our chat, was you can't expect guys to drop. At what point do we put onus on the attacker for lowering himself?
Yeah, and it's just that split millisecond, or maybe a second of impact of where you're going to clip him just high or low.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, it's just the way the game is. It's all right, he's going to go to the bin.
But then I raised the question, right? If McDonald doesn't go for a HIA, does Hopgood still get sin-binned?
No,
So
I don't think so. Well, that's the thing now. It's oh shit, he's going to go off for a head injury assessment. You're going to have to go on the bin now.
So now, after the NRL saying the effect doesn't impact the results. For example, last year, Nico Hines with a potential hip drop tackle. I know there's a lot of work around it, but Montoya being injured, that ended up coming into account. Didn't end up coming into account because they went, oh no, it's all right. The Bulldogs have said, it's fine. It's not as bad as we thought. End of the day, Montoya still missed 2 to 3 games. So why are we punishing players because of the effect it has on other players? I can tackle someone legally and still break their neck.
Yeah.
So does that mean it was a legal tackle, but I should go to the bin?
Or maybe. But yeah, it depends who's in the bunker. Every ref, I think we chatted about this last year. I think there's got to be consistency of what refs in the bunker each week and every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that we can chat about that for another day when maybe
we have longer.
Maybe if Roosters get robbed this Friday, but
You mean 2 weeks in a row? Wait,
yeah.
what?
Well, yeah. So Para got done it hard. My field goal prediction didn't get up.
2 years in a row as well that they've given up 50 to the Storm in round one.
And I was watching a few Parramatta mates, and they had no words. Trent said his parents were down at the game, and he was on the phone. He was quite angry. He said, you're gonna have to get down there and abuse the ref. But yeah, I think Melbourne, they're gonna be classy again this year. It's only round one, but I think Eels they got a bit to answer for because they were just throwing that ball around with no respect. And the first half, some errors. We'll get into this, but I think this game and the Roosters was a bit of similarities where the first half, the ref, it
was very
Storm
lopsided.
had to up with the green, but the second half, just discipline and errors. And
and a bit of an even up in the second half as well, which I hate. And it happens in every game, and there's probably 3 or 4 games we can talk about from this weekend where they've done the same thing.
So was 42, Roosters 18. And it was funny, maybe Robbo just wanted to forget about that game instantly because in the presser, Even he forgot how many tries Roosters scored.
Yeah.
He goes, some journo asked him a question. He's like, I think we scored like 28 or something. He's like, how many did we score again? But, yeah, I think, we were both excited for this one. I was a bit nervous, decent little crowd at Mount Smart.
Wires are a good team at home.
And, yeah, they went hard. They went hard, and I think they exposed our left side. Our right side a bit.
Yeah, but I would argue that no Toya doesn't help. And to be fair, like, it was announced the day before the game, but Junior Palgo actually stepped up and had a great game. Like
number 19?
Yeah, mate. There was one on, I think was it on Roger, and he came out of nowhere and just crushed him over the sideline. Like, things like that for a guy who hasn't played first grade for over a year. Like, look, if we have Toya, it's probably a different game. If we don't lose Spencer in warm-ups, it's probably a different game. But in saying that, we shat the bed in multiple situations. Like, there was a couple of set plays that we tried to run with kicks early in the count that just didn't come off, like the kick into Capewell's hands.
Yeah, just little things like kicking on first. That was something.
But if that gets through, there's two guys running through unprotected that are going to score that in a heartbeat. And also, I want to talk about this new rule with going up for catches. So, Marky Mark did tug on Roger's arm, so I get that. But now this new rule is you have to go up with two hands. If you don't go up with two hands, it's immediately a penalty. Now, that's the NRL's interpretation that they've sent that to clubs. So when you go for a catch, you have to go up with two. If you only go up with one to bat back, according to the NRL, that's a penalty.
An escort.
Well, no, just a penalty is a disruptor. They're saying that you have to go up with the intent to catch it. If you're not going to go up with the intent to catch it, don't go up at all. But then, two plays in that game, the Wires went up one-handed, not to knock the ball back, no penalty. But then, later in the weekend, someone went up with one hand, bang, penalty. Oh, you only went up with one arm. So,
it's
like,
either they're going to have to stick to that rule or change it.
Yeah.
As we said in the off-season, you start getting a bit lovely, a bit fancy with all these rules, and you got to find that fine spot. I thought last year was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that needs to be changed in our game.
And what about Marky Mark? That almost pulled off when he did that backwards kick.
The little Italian scissor kick.
But yeah, I think look back to the drawing board. Round one. Credit to the Wars.
Yeah, great game.
They ran away with it in the end. There was almost a period where the comeback was on.
The comeback was on until there was just that soft try.
Yeah, and unfortunately at full time, the Roosters had to address some death threats to players. Look, not on. I guess I don't know who said what happened, but typically there's a multi involved, or it could just be hot-headed, or even alcohol. If
you are sending death threats to a player because of a multi, honestly, I can tell you where you can shove your multi. Like, if that's
what the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, mate. And you can stick it sideways with a stick for all I care. Because, mate, look, we're pretty passionate about footy, and we give to opposition players, but there's a line you don't cross, especially when it's your own team. Like, that's just, mate. If you are really going to do that, fuck off and get out of our sport. No one wants you.
And obviously, there was a bit of commentary at the where I was watching the game, and I don't know who the player could have been. Could have been our newest signing. But yeah. And then the next game on a Friday night, Broncos at Suncorp on a Friday night. It's bread and butter, mate.
Well, this game is actually probably the biggest disappointment out of the weekend for me because I was recovering from my team getting flogged. Yeah. I had a couple of drinks there ready, and I was like, I'm going to sit in here and go watch this great game of footy. And they went, the Bronx are shit again.
It was just, Penrith 26-0, and Penrith were well, mate. Clinical,
just
defense
suffocated them.
Suffocation. Reece Walsh is still recovering from his bender after winning the comp last year. They just so many errors out of him. I think they made I think it was something. I think it was 15 or 20 errors. Well,
I'll tell you what. If there's any Penrith fan that paid the $190 to sit in the old away bay for opposition teams...
Is that for one ticket?
One ticket. That's adult and junior prices. So the away bay at Suncorp, which used to be 317 down in that corner, has been taken... For Broncos games, has been taken away from the away fans.
So what are the away fans sitting on?
Top level.
Really?
Yeah, it's an absolute shit show. But they were charging $189 for adult or kids tickets. Over $700 for a family ticket to that game.
Jeez.
mate, Broncos, pull your heads out because if you're going to put up that shit, no one's going to be spending that much money on your tickets.
I'd like to know what the Finns charge.
Can confirm the Finns will cost. I had a look at this the other day. It's about $60 for an adult ticket, $70 for an adult ticket. Yeah. I think that was like that's their diamond though. That's their so in the away bay or next to the away bay where I was looking, I think it was like $40 or $50 for me with my membership, my Roosters membership. So that is $120 difference, all because they won a comp last year and then they put up that effort round one.
Yeah, and they even Penrith had a few players out. Martin didn't play as well.
Martin didn't play.
And yeah, it's a scary prospect, mate, Penrith. But I think the last game they played was at Suncorp.
I think the Riff had a bit in them of like they needed to get rid of that memory of that prelim last year. And I think that was probably the first sign for them getting back was like, all right, let's beat these guys up here and prove a point. Then we'll get back onto our roll. And
the only thought I had is every time Brisbane lose, it's going to be the Payne Haas leaving the club. It's going to be something to do with Madge. You know, you can win a comp, but...
Did we not see a similar storyline with another club last year? Remember every time they lost it was because someone was supposedly leaving before it got announced?
Yeah, right.
So, you ever seeing a common threat there? It's just an easy go-to, players leaving, so we need to blame...
Manly.
Yeah, with Manly. You know, every time they lost it was, DC's a distraction. So what? Haas has made a decision. You know what his decision is. Why is it a distraction? You've got him for a year. Just fucking go for it.
And down at your neck of the woods, Cronulla 50.
Portaloo Stadium.
Titans 10. So two clubs officially can't win the premiership now. So Para's out, Titans are out.
But you know the best thing about the two clubs that can't win the comp? They were the first. They were 1 and 2 in the preseason challenge. Yeah. So that shows you how bad no one cares about the preseason. The team that finished in the bottom 4 actually won their first games.
Yeah. It's a preseason, mate. Like, it means nothing. And, Cronulla played well. I think Trindle, he stood out. Even Nico played all right.
I said this for a couple of years, and so many people have called me an idiot for it. Trindle is running that team. If you watch them play, when they play their best, Trindle is really the 7, Nico's a running 6. So when Trindle is running that team and controlling it, they play bloody excellent, like they did. Not that the Titans are a good sample size.
Yeah, credit to him. And I think Hannay against his old club.
Yeah.
It would have been a tough one. And like Tina, I think at half-time, it's credit to the man. You know, he's extended with the Gold Coast, but it could be a long year for Ty. I tipped him for the spoon, and it's just that, like, coming out, first game of the year, and some of their defensive reads were just shocking. Like, I don't want to say names, but I think some of their halves as well, like with Ilias, he was just... short ball gone.
I think losing Jaden Campbell did hurt them because I think Jaden is a big part of what they do.
Yeah.
And I think that's they're trying to build around him, which is great. But you could see there definitely just was that direction missing. And they need that guy to direct them around the field. And I don't think Ilias is it.
And I was watching the Matty John show last night, and I think it was High Marsh or Fletch, one or the other, believes Titans won't get their first win till round 11.
Jeez, who are they playing round 11?
I can't remember, but we did lose to the Titans last year early on.
We did, and you know what? That
Hopefully
was
not again. I think we were around round 8 or 9.
But that was at one of those games last year where we had like 5 or 6 games where we were leading at the 60th minute and then just fucking lost it.
Yep. And Manly, this was a goodie. This was wet weather at Brookie. Manly going down 28 to Canberra 29. And there was a bit in this, Fogarty against his old club.
Yeah.
Like I said, on a wet night. But I thought Raiders, they stuck strong. I thought Manly's first 15 to 20 was...
impressive.
They're here to play.
Yeah.
Right, at home. And they were up, I think half-time, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was about 14-6.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But I didn't catch the second half, but did you watch
it? I did. And look, I mean, the fact of the matter that Manly got it to 28 all... I think they scored, 14 points in 6 minutes or something ridiculous. Like, it was a crazy finish.
It looked good.
Great finish to watch, but crazy finish. And then, Fogarty kicking a penalty goal pretty much on full time to send it to Golden Point was just poetic. It was like, all right, they're going to win this.
Yeah.
Mate, if I'm Anthony Seibold, now I'm going to say this has come from a couple of Manly fans, and definitely one of them, but a couple of Manly fans have said to me that field goal that Ethan Sanders kicked was the most disappointing part of the game for them after they'd worked so hard to get back in.
I did see that part.
Because honestly, mate, like Jake Travojevic, old RoboCop headgear.
Yeah, the headgear. Wow, it's rugby league that.
It is, mate. What do they call? What is it? Juggernaut. Remember Juggernaut from X-Men? It gives me that vibe. But like, he's come out of marker to try and put on an effort. But if you watch when Sanders kicks the ball and it goes over the defensive line, they've barely moved a step off the line. Sanders had all day to kick that. Like, if I'm Seabold, you're doing field goal pressure all week this week.
Yeah, Sanders had a good game, and like even though they lost Fogarty, he'll be in good hands there. I think Ricky's waited until he's made his debut for the club. I think he's a Parramatta boy as well.
Yeah, so he's a Parramatta. He used to play for Para, and Ricky brought him over, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to be, the halfback before Fogarty," and Ricky went, "No, he's going to sit in New South Wales Cup. He's going to learn his craft, and when he is ready, I'll bring him up. But I'm not going to bring him up just for the sake of it."
Yeah.
Which Ricky's done that with a few young guys like Savage and all that before. So it's a consistent thing that he does it. And look, I think he's getting it right because Sanders looked like a veteran with how composed he was in that moment.
No, good on him. And I think for Ricky as well, he can slowly push that nightmare at GO last year against Brisbane behind him because even Golden Point, he's thinking, even if we get a point, they might go up to the bunker here.
Well, mate, I reckon
PTSD.
The moment that Fogarty kicked that kicked that penalty goal, his first thought would have been like, "Oh crap, this is Brisbane all over again." And
I just love Ricky how it's just pissing down with rain, and he's just on the sideline, just hands crossed.
Head and hair just absolutely drenched.
And he's chewing that gum that he's been chewing since he's coming up to Bruce High.
Mate, he probably added on. He gets it when they come out of the hotel. He puts it in, and then he can spit it out after the game.
And to finish off round one, big score fest, 70 points scored. South Sydney 40, Finns 30. I watched it. It was an entertaining game. And I think I was the only one that tipped South. So I just thought they were going to get the win. And their left edge, it went pretty good. But they also utilised their right edge. Thought Campbell Graham had a good outing. Yeah,
Campbell Graham had a good thing. And I think him being on the wing all year is going to be big for them because he's got that body. He's got that like Marky Mark body in terms of he's really big and strong. But to be honest, I kind of had a feeling when I sat down to watch it that it was going to be a bit of a shootout. Yeah. And I was kind of right. Like, it was like the moment a team made an offload, it was like, bang, they were looking like scoring. So, theoretically, if you're both teams, you've got issues about your edge, it's all good to score 40 points. But if you're giving up 30, there's an issue.
So, if Chooks just tighten that D up, because we did let him 42 points as well.
Yeah.
Then it could be a low-scoring fest. But, I thought Latrell at centre.
Oh, it's a difference maker, isn't it?
It is a difference. I think most South fans are probably like, I think this is the right decision. Jai Gray, electric little bunny out the back, he was good.
Yeah.
It just feels right. Like, I really couldn't give a fuck what Souths do. But
you know what this proves? At the end of the day, Robbo was right.
Yeah.
He cannot play fullback.
I think Trell's put his ego to the side and said, all right, Jai, you go there. Because he wasn't fit enough for fullback. Did
he put the ego aside, or did Wayne pull him aside and go, "Mate, this is what's happening, whether you like it or not"? Because let's be legitimate here. Like, there were times where he could have passed to AJ for an easy try, and then he pushed to try and go over himself. So I think the ego is there. I think Wayne pulled him aside and says, "If you want to play, you have to play center."
Yeah, and I think AJ. So now is he? See, I'm trying to work this one out. So is he one more try, then he's in front of Ken Irvine, or is it to tie?
1 to tie, 2 to beat.
Right. So pretty much when people, might run on the field, is that when he just scores that one?
No, it'd have to be the 2. It's got to be when you break it. Same as Buddy Franklin, it was when he broke it.
Is he going to get 2 tries?
Again, against Marky Mark, probably not. Remember last year, everyone was like, he's going to score it. And you could tell that the Roosters' goal was, do not let him score. Yeah. Like, they didn't care if someone else scored, just don't let him.
So that's why it kind of boggles me now to think Latrell could have passed left, and then now he's got to score 1, right? But I think Latrell is like, do it at Allianz, as he said. That will be on their
the one game he's won there in his life against us.
Yeah, Simbin Sunday as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really count.
But and then it was funny, Wayne in the presser, how it's such an. I think I've never seen it in the NRL, but in the AFL, Buddy Franklin's done it. I think Tony Lockett for the Swans as well back in the day.
Yeah.
They run on the field. It's their thing. If AJ does break the record, do you think fans will run on the field?
I think some will, and I hope every single one of them gets arrested. Look, purely from a point of view that AFL, there's a lot of stoppages and that, and they've got to take time to get back to the centre. You can kind of do it. NRL, if you have all these players, all these people run on the field, you've just broken the momentum of the game. So theoretically, right? Let's say theoretically, there's 2 minutes to go. South are losing 18-6, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes to go. So, bang, goes over and scores. Everyone runs on the field. By the time they finally call time off, Latrell's still got to line up the kick, take the kick. So you could have a 10, 20-minute delay waiting. Then Latrell's got to take that kick.
Yeah.
Think of how much time you've wasted there. So if South are making a comeback, heck yeah, do it. Because I tell you now, it's going to blow their momentum.
Yeah.
And NRL is such a momentum game. You kick it, you get the ball back, you go, right? So it could actually screw a team up if you do it.
And I think with Buddy Franklin's one, I think it took almost an hour for play to get back on.
Mate, players had to go out onto Driver Avenue and come back in the change rooms.
It was unreal. It was pretty cool scenes. But yeah, look, maybe you might have like 6 to 7 people try and run on the field, and they'll have extra security there. They're not dumb.
No, they're not dumb, but I think he'll do it round 3. I think if anything, he might score 1 next week to tie, and then the week after, I think he breaks it, which I think is a fair assessment.
And the week after, maybe we'll suss that out.
Yeah, have a look at that
soon. So that's round 1 wrapped up, mate.
Finally.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by FDS Eyewear. FDS Eyewear is your one-stop shop for quality, affordable eyewear. With the latest lens technology and weekly eye testing services, FDS Eyewear provides competitive rates over the larger optical retailers. Visit their store at Wentworthville Plaza, just a short drive from Parramatta.
And so Lomax, he's going to be off to rugby union.
Yeah, the Western Force.
This was kind of rumoured before the whole Melbourne thing came into play, but there was talks that he was going to go to Western Force. 2-year deal with rugby, and it was quoted today that he said it's a power. What is that? What did I write there? Power motivation or something. Powerful motivation to play for the Wallabies, right? Is this just something to tick off his bucket list? He's played cricket for Kiama.
Yeah, he played 4th grade cricket for Kiama Cricket Club.
Play for the Wallabies in the World Cup. Is that what he wants to do?
Oh, look, he had motivation to play for St. George. He had motivation to play for Parramatta. He had motivation to go over and play R360. He had motivation to go to the Storm. He's now got motivation to go play Union and potentially play in a World Cup.
Motivation to change positions as well.
Man's got motivation coming out the wazoo, so credit to him. I don't know where he gets it from all. Clinton Tchaikovsky and Stuart Gillers, I think it is.
He's managed by 2. Or you'd think...
And Clinton's pretty smart. He's an ex-football player, so he should know. He's an ex-league guy down in Canberra. But, man, who was it? It was Braithen Astor. And they were talking about the whole contract stuff. And then that's like, you know what? I had people reach out to me for players, but at the end of the day, his management's made a bad decision with the whole R360 thing, and now he's got to pay the price. So if he has to go in the wilderness and play Super Rugby for 2 years in WA, well, you know what? Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 years there, that might flow into Perth Bears, or maybe you'll be sick of Perth by then.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like Perth are in next year. He can come back to the to league in 2028. So, maybe if he likes the lifestyle over there, it is a nice place over there. Perth is beautiful. Maybe he goes there, and you would presume the Force and Bears are going to be sharing HBF Park. So
yeah, they will be. Yeah, no, they will.
Yeah, so I mean, he'll already know his home ground. Maybe that's a shout.
But I think it kept dragging on that whole Lomaxing.
Yeah,
for far too long, and then I'm pretty sure. I think this time last week, that was on the head and it was all over.
Yeah,
Para fans had a little bit of a chin in there, bit of a smile before they got pumped by Melbourne.
To be honest, I actually still have a lot of respect for Para doing it. Like everyone's out there going, oh well, clubs break contracts with players all the time, but clubs have to do payouts and things like that if they break a contract. So you know what? look, it's the only win Para got last week, but it was a good win to get, I reckon.
Yeah, and let's talk about the 6 agains now, right? So obviously we talked about this a few episodes back. How now your team can get a 6 again in there. The opposition's 20 instead of the 40.
Yeah.
And look, I think there was what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where the scores were overs by miles, right? Do you think this rule's had a big impact on?
Yep. 100%. My position on the 6 again is I don't like it. I understand why they brought the 6 again in, and we spoke about this with Liv last year. I understand, but there is no consistency and there is no opportunity to challenge it, right? So theoretically, and I pulled a timer out intentionally on this.
Yeah.
I'd done it on multiple games. So I'd done it Finns and Souths, I'd done Warriors and Roosters, I'd done Bronx and Penrith, and I'd done Manly and Raiders. And both times there was clear disruptions between the ruck infringement, right?
Yeah.
So ruck infringement can be slow on the ruck down, right? At one point, there was a Roosters player who held a Warriors player down for 1.2 seconds, got pinged for a 6 again. In the second half, 2 Warriors players held down a Roosters player for 4.3 seconds, not a single thing. Now
That's what was frustrating me. I'm thinking that first half against the Wires was 6 again, 6 again, 6 again.
mate, Celeste Fekete was lying on the ground, head down, didn't move because intentionally he couldn't. So I think it was Nickel Cook's dad purposely tripped over him and he milked the shit out of it, gets a penalty. But then we have a guy held down for nearly 5 seconds. My big thing with the 6 again is if it's not going to be consistent, fuck it off. I would rather you slow the game down with penalties than do it. Because at the end of the day, if you can't be consistent with it, you shouldn't. Now, for me, NRL refs, and like obviously we don't know what they're taught. You know, we have some ins on that, and I'd love to hear their thoughts, and I probably should reach out to them. But for me, in my head, you call held 1, 2, 3. All right, you haven't gotten off screen. It's a 6 again.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's so inconsistent, you're just crapping the product of the game because, as we saw, at one point it was like I think the penalty / set restart count for the Wires Roosters was 11 or 13-2 at one point, and then it got evened up in the second half. And it's like, well, mate, there's no way they weren't good, but there's no way they're that bad.
Getting evened up in the second half because that's when Roosters had a little bit, behind them.
Yeah,
scored a few tries. But yeah, I think it's that fine balance of, all right, we want the game, we want new people to be watching the game. Attract everyone that aren't rugby league fans to see all these all-electric tries, so many of them, right? But you got to think, all right, well, how many is too many with the 6 again? And I thought last year was, it was all right, but now if they don't tighten it up, it's going to be, I reckon there'll be a lot of blowouts this year.
I think last year was the closest they had to having it at its best point. I think at the end of the day, what they need to do, bring back 2 refs.
Yeah.
Because you had one ref who just focused on the ruck, because they were right there. They were in the ruck, right? So you could have consistent timing.
Maybe because back then when they got rid of the 2 refs, there was no 6 again. I could be wrong.
Well, they did have 6 again, but they didn't have it to the extent they have it now.
Maybe they need 2 refs now because, the rules are changing up.
Mate, honestly, 100%, I am for bringing back 2 refs. I actually think having 2 refs is the best way to manage it because, and look, fatigue is a big thing in a game. So I can understand refs have got a lot going on, Touchy's got a lot going on, that their timing's out and I can understand that. Bring back a second ref who just focuses on the ruck like they used to. That was it. And then everything will be consistent. And that's all fans want is consistency.
You know what I guess this is how it rolls now, but what annoys me is, you know how we used to, someone score a try and then they go, beep, beep, beep. All right, we're going to review it first.
Yeah.
I think... Well, South's got a few taken off him, which was pretty funny to see. But they'd score, you'd celebrate, and then you're waiting. Is it try confirmed? As soon as the ref does this one, it's a no try. 95% of the time.
And this is my thing, right? If I don't think I've ever seen them review a try that's been awarded and it not end up staying as a try, right?
I think I've seen that maybe twice.
Yeah, which you think about how many times it happens in a game. So at the end of the day, right, let's be fair, the bunker official is reviewing that the moment that try happens, right?
Yeah.
The moment that hand gets pointed, the whistle's blown, they're reviewing it. So why are they reviewing it 6, 7, 8 times, then calling for the bunker official to review it, and then they're reviewing it another 6 to 8 times? Like, you already know by that point it's a no try. Just go, review it once and go, oh, yeah, there was a touch here, that's it. Like, it just seems to me...
Wouldn't that be something when AJ scores and they take it upstairs?
Could you imagine? Well, did you see Cody Walker's try that got taken off him? Where the one where his foot just grazed the...
Oh, it just flicked the sideline.
Could you imagine something like that happens to AJ? Everyone's celebrating. Oh, he's broke the record. Next year, you know...
The ref's like standing
Bunker
in between
review.
all these fans. Hold on.
Hold on, guys. Please get off the field. We're about to review this.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by The Legal Problem Solver. The team brings over 25 years of experience in wills, probate, estates, conveyancing, property and commercial law. Connect with The Legal Problem Solver on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram.
Let's preview round 2 now of the season. So Thursday night, it will be Brisbane
And Parramatta at Suncorp.
At Suncorp. Oh, God.
You want to hear the odds?
Yeah.
Broncos $1.27.
Mm.
Parramatta $3.80.
Yeah, that seems about right. I think there's a part of me that wants to tip Parramatta.
By a field goal.
But I think obviously both teams want to bounce back after the shit they dished up in round 1. I think Broncos will click into gear round 2, and I think it's going to be 13 plus Brisbane.
I'm going to 100% agree with you on that one.
I mean, Moses does enjoy playing his footy at Suncorp, but...
He prefers it in blue, I think.
Yeah, for New South Wales. And look, there's only so much Moses can do. I thought he had a decent game for Parra, but it's not a one-man team.
But also, I'm still in two minds about the peasant thing, right? Yeah. Parramatta only have him for a year, and then he pisses off to Brisbane anyway, so what's the point?
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so, Brisbane 13 plus, rolling into Friday, 6 p.m.
Wars and Raiders in Auckland.
So most of their games are mainly Friday, 6 p.m.
Well, yeah, because of the timing, that's it's the best way to do it because it's 8 p.m. over there. So it's more of the timing thing. But the Wars are $1.86. The Raiders are $1.98.
At home.
But at home, and the Raiders struggled a bit against a good Manly team.
Yeah. Cloakstad against his old side always turns up for it. I reckon you might get a man of the match performance and Waz by 1-12, I think.
Yeah, I'd back that. 1-12 Waz, yeah. I was going to go Waz anyway, but yeah, 1-12 works. I think the Raiders will struggle a little bit over there. Just, I don't know, the Waz at home are different now.
That'd be a game against Manly.
Yeah, that will take a lot out of them. Then we go to this Derby week, baby.
The greatest rivalry
in sports.
In arguably in Australian sport, in the world, mate. It's two foundation clubs going up against it. I'm sure Fox and Nine will be running their promos into the ground until kickoff. But it's, I know a lot of Roosters and South fans. They get a bit nervous about this one. And I think last year, we did lose to South.
We lost round 5 at a core, but I still say that was a load of crap. Thank you to Latrell for his forward pass.
Yeah, that's right. And then obviously we pipped him at the back end. But anyway, that's in the past now. We're
Pipped
looking
him when it
forward to
mattered.
it. I think Chooks, I think Toya playing will be, I think he'll play.
If he plays, it's a huge win.
It's obviously recorded pre-Tuesday afternoon team list. But, I think Toya, he knows how to, we've seen it before, he knows how to stop Latrell.
Yeah.
Look, South went pretty hard at Dolphins' edge with Latrell for Feeder. I thought Feeder had a good game as well.
Feeder wasn't too bad, yeah.
But I think we got to look at that. Chooks, DCE, a few defensive reads, first game in the Tricolours. So I'm a bit nervous, but I am going to back the Chooks.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go the Chooks 1-12, but
Same.
It's interesting looking at this. The Chooks are $1.79 at the moment, and Souths are $2.07. But also on your note about Toya, good odds at the moment. But surely they'll, as you said earlier, they'll tighten up. But
you could probably say that about $1.90 each.
Yeah, I think if you get to that $1.92 each, you're pretty good. But it's an interesting one because I was reading the medical report from the club today. And it mentioned, obviously, Reece Robson after his surgery, mentioned Spencer's out for 4 weeks minimum with his hammy. Brought up Tommy Talau, who's potentially done an ACL. Hugo Savala.
Catch a break.
But there was no mention about Toya. So to me, that means he's very likely to play.
Yeah. So let's just assume that he'll play. No, I can't wait. First game at Allianz. Oh, it'll be good to be back.
Good to be
checked the
home.
weather. Could be a bit of a wet one.
Really? I thought it was meant to be good.
Maybe I'll talk to the weather gods, see what they can dish
Don't,
up.
don't say that to me. I want good weather this weekend so I can play cricket finals.
I think our last game at Allianz would have been
It was last year, round 27.
against South.
Yeah, against South.
And we won.
We won
quite well, convincingly, didn't we?
We done a job. We done a job on them.
Yeah. So back in the Chooks, should be good. Should be a sellout crowd, as it always is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
hopefully, I can dish up a quick multi for you. I'll go Trell Sinbin and Toya Teddy and Marky Mark to score, and mate, the odds in that. That's about.
You know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to look back at every Roosters South game that's been held at Allianz because I reckon you're onto something with Trell getting sin-binned.
Yeah.
I reckon he's been sin-binned in nearly all of them.
Yeah, probably close to it.
Like, there's probably maybe one he didn't, but the opening round he got sin-binned. The opening game of Allianz, he got sin-binned because he put the hand in the ruck on Butcher.
Yeah.
I think he got done in sin-bin Sunday at some point as well, I think.
I don't think he did.
Maybe that was the one he missed.
That was his field day trails, and he was doing this to the crowd.
Oh, mate, there was some comments going down to him and Walker, that's for sure. But anyway, but I reckon he's been sin-bin. That's a good multi there. There's a good shout there.
We'll see what happens, eh? And let's roll into Saturday.
Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m, the supposed eighth wonder of the world, Leichhardt Oval.
Yeah, there's a bit of whispers that I might be going to this game.
Ooh.
I might be going.
Go stand on the hill.
I've got a few Tigers mates, and I've never been to Leichhardt, and
It is good.
they always Tigers Cowboys at Leichhardt. It's a thing. I think they verse each other there every year.
Well, remember they had that like 66-0 game or something like that up there, and then Cowboys put 70 on them when they went to Townsville.
It's the famous guy on the hill going, Thurston.
Hey Thurston, where's your origin
Queensland
spirit now,
spirit,
you
yeah.
prick?
I'm
Great
gonna
meme.
go.
Do you want to know the odds?
Yeah, tell me, please.
Cowboys are $2.54 to win. Wests are $1.52. I don't remember the last time I saw West at such short odds to win a game.
Yeah, little bit of pressure on the Tigers. First game of the year.
They had a hard-fought game against the Bye in round one.
Yeah, they did. And I thought Cowboys dished up shit against Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tigers 13 plus. I reckon there'll be a bit of buzz in Leichhardt.
I'm going Tigers 1-12.
All right, that's our first difference for the tips. But no, I think maybe like a 28 plays 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys are going to want to prove a point because everyone knows Peyton's on the block at the moment. So they need to work something out. But, hey, you never know.
But I think I called Peyton to lose his job first, so it's got to follow the script here.
Yeah, so we need West to win by a lot.
Next one, what do we got?
Moving down to the Gong to win Stadium, the Dragons $2.96 versus the opposition who will be winning 13 plus, Melbourne Storm $1.40. Melbourne 13 plus. I'm not even going to bother with the Dragons in that.
Yeah, Saturday 3 p.m. You said?
Nah, 5:30.
5:30 slot at the Gong. Ooh.
That twilight game at the Gong.
If it's a dry afternoon, I'll go Storm 1-12. I think Saints might put up a little bit of a fight. I thought
They
you know
did.
what?
They did beat them last year. The Dragons did beat them in their early contest last year.
I'm starting to lean towards the Saints here. That might be my upset of the round. I think Saints are burning after getting robbed against Dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. You know what? That's a valid point, actually.
Storm had a big win. They had a massive win against Para, and I think. Who do Saints first to next week?
Let me
Would you be able to get that
let me
up?
just pull up round 3 for you, mate. Round 3 will be.
Watch them have a bye.
Oh, they have Parrot Combank on a Sunday.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go. Nah, you know what? I'll go Melbourne 1-12.
See, I reckon if it's a dry track, Melbourne 13 plus. If it's wet, then yeah, I would bring it back to 1-12.
Yeah. So Melbourne 1-12.
No, 13 plus. 13 plus still. I'm still putting my money there. And then, you know what? It's the Saturday of just local park footy grounds. Wynn Stadium's a bit bigger than local park footy, but you know what I mean. As we finish in Bathurst on Saturday night, the Penrith Panthers $1.40 versus Cronulla Sharks $2.96. This will be a good test for Cronulla.
Good game. Great test for Cronulla. Yeah. Oh wow.
Do Penrith keep that intensity from the Bronx game?
Oh, they will be looking to go 2 in a row. I think they want to get their 5 tries on board. That their big Penrith fan Flaxy.
Yes, for his haircut.
Yeah. I've been keeping up with that one on the Insta. But
Well, he's at one.
yeah. I kind of look. I think I just want to tip Cronulla out of my despise for Penrith, and to which I will be tipping Cronulla 1-12.
Look, I hate them both.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. I hate Cronulla because
They looked impressive, Cronulla, on Saturday. I think if they can dish that up again, I'm going to back him just in a tight one.
I'm going to sound like I'm fence sitting here. If Trindle plays well and leads a team, they will win. But I think Para will overpower them and suffocate them.
Yeah, Penrith. Yeah.
So I'm going to go Penrith, but I'm leaving that door open for the possibility of how Cronulla need to win, and that's Trindle controlling the team.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll go opposite you, mate. I'll go Cronulla. I'll back that as my upset for the round.
Sunday. We got 2 games again on Sunday, 4 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Yeah, lovely.
So we start at 4 Pines for the battle of the Manly Sea Eagles playing $1.57 versus the Newcastle Knights $2.41. I'm straight up going to say Manly. I think Manly are going to really be proving a point after last week. And Fletcher Sharp's out after his injury in Vegas, and he was... Look, he
clinical for Nui.
Yeah, he was the big part of why they won, and he wasn't on the field for the full game. So I'm thinking Manly going to win this 1-12.
1-12. Yeah, if Manly can just do a repeat of their first half for the second like they did against Canberra, I think they'll win well, and I'll go Manly 13+.
I think Manly will keep it. Knights will stay in there, but yeah, I feel like they'll fall off.
Nui might be recovering still from their Vegas bender.
Mate,
it's been a while now.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And then we finish with a Queensland clash. The the Dolphins, you're not allowed to call them Redcliffe, $1.37 versus the Gold Coast Titans, $3.10. Up at Suncorp Sunday night.
So they got the Sunday slot against Finns.
The 6:15 game though, not the 4 p.m. this week.
Yeah, right. I think Dolphins 13+.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one, I think.
I'll light it up. Kitsoa, Hammer. Like, they didn't play that bad against Souths, but they just chucked their defense out the door.
And that's the thing, right?
To attack.
I think both teams chucked their defense out. Out. It was just going to be whoever scores more.
Do you think, like, sometimes they're just like, fuck it, all right, if they're going to score one, we'll just get one on you?
I think they do, and I think that's what's so dangerous about the Finns is they can score 50 points on you. The problem is when they do that, they'll give up 60. Yeah. So it's a very...
And if they keep at that, which they did the last year, then are they going to make the 8? Is points diff going to stuff them?
Look at last year. They finished 9th, but they had the best 4 of any team. They had one of the worst against. Yeah. But, like, that ended up costing them. Like, that 68 to something game we had against them was huge for why they didn't make the finals.
And, mate, defense wins premierships.
Defense does win premierships.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the RMTV Podcast. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications when the episode drops. So when it drops, mate, you'll be able to hear our...
dulcet tones.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Have a great night, guys.